But
Right, you're saying you like all the time.
yeah. Okay. So I'll just go through what you had put down there, and I'll go through what you roughly all I talked about. Okay, so for job knowledge, you put down above standard. I actually put you at outstanding with that, because I think you know how to do just about everything. Productivity, you put yourself as outstanding. I put you as below standard. And I'll iterate some of these that are as we go. For example, I know the phone's been coming up quite a bit. On Monday, I got a call from someone outside of this office that said they saw you when you were walking around picking up trash and texting and just on your phone, just kind of walking around, you know, not looking for trash. You gotta look for it when you pick it up. So that's one example. Organization, you have yourself down as outstanding. I have you as standard. I know there's been some issues in the shop where things get left and get left for a long time. That's an issue. Initiative, you have yourself down as outstanding again, and I put you down as standard because I think you get the work orders, you go and do them. But why I don't go with you on that one as even above standard is because when there's a lot of them, I don't see you working any faster, Greg. You pick them up, you go out, you do them at your own speed. Teamwork, you have it as outstanding. I have you down as standard. Once again, I mean, like the email you sent me, you could have just talked to me. And you said you put it in there 6 times that you've asked me about it. It hasn't been 6 times. You got to communicate with us, and it's just not happening. Appearance, you have yourself down as outstanding. I have you above standard there. You usually dress pretty good. I think outstanding's a big word. A polo shirt, no logos or anything like that. That would be outstanding. Punctuality, you have yourself down as standard. I have it as below standard because from my understanding, still coming in 5 minutes late, leaving 5 minutes early. Adaptability, flexibility, you have yourself above standard, and I got you down as standard. I think you disagree with a lot of things in your work environment, but I think you deal with them for the most part. Dependability, you have yourself down as outstanding, and I have you as below standard. Just based on rely on the person to routinely be at work to complete required assignments. Now, maybe you don't have a whole lot of control over that, but we can't depend on you to be at work every day. So,
I have one question, Steve. My evaluation is from the time I started to a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all.
Attitude, I have, you have your attitude down as outstanding. Displays a good attitude regarding position, coworkers, and management. I have that as unsatisfactory. Anything we've tried to correct with you, you haven't really accepted it. Seems like you don't like the answer, so you go somewhere else to get a different answer. And that's worked to some extent, but I think that's come to an end. So I just don't see it, Greg. I mean, you hardly talk to us. And I know how you interact with residents, and it's great. So I don't know what it is you have against us. Why you don't interact with us better or have more with work orders when there's a bunch of them. Why aren't we working faster when there's a bunch of them like that?
Any question? You asking me a question?
I mean, just give it with
I'll
all.
cut to you short too. You on that last one. When did this stop? Okay, I can't move as fast. I work through pain. At one point, I stopped asking questions because Raphael didn't ever answer me. So then I started figuring stuff out on my own, so I wouldn't have to ask. Communication. I tried still to communicate, but whatever frustrated him, he's gonna share that without speaking, just like I don't speak. As far as you, if I could tell you anything, it's always usually my fault. Even in the meeting with whatever her name is, when you were explaining it, you were explaining that it was my fault. And I'm like, she caught you and even said something. So, what's the use of talking when I know I can do my job, I can do it well, and I don't have to say nothing because if it's gonna be my fault or somebody's gonna spread anger to me, I'm not gonna feed into it. I'm just gonna keep doing what I need to be doing and get my job done the way it needs to be done.
Okay. Well, so what I just heard you say is that when you ask about something or when you bring up a problem, if you don't get the answer that you want, you stop talking to the person about it. What's the point?
About the answer I want.
That goes back to flexibility. Okay.
What does that have to do with the answer I want?
You think we're always saying it's your fault.
Answer. What part of that statement was I looking for an answer to something? What I was just saying, it was none of that had to do with me asking somebody something for an answer to something. It was mentioning what's going on or asking a question on how to fix something.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the answer I want. What answer do?
So you asked Raphael, hey, how do I fix this? And he said nothing to you at all?
No, it
I
wasn't
don't
like that. At
believe
one
that.
point he was frustrated about something. I don't know what it was. But when you was asking questions, you weren't getting an answer. You wouldn't answer the phone. I didn't get mad about it. I just said, okay, I'm gonna stop asking. I would write the problem
Right.
down. I would hand it to you.
Yep. I see what you're saying.
I didn't stop communication. I found another way to communicate.
This is my problem with that. So that happened on one occasion, so you
No, it
said,
didn't
fine,
happen
I
on
won't
one
talk to him
occasion.
at all.
It didn't happen on one occasion.
That's what I see, Greg.
Okay.
That's what I see you saying. Well, I asked Raphael about this for one occasion, two occasions, three occasions, whatever, over a course of an entire year. He was frustrated, didn't want to help, whatever the case, whatever you say it was. So you said, okay, fine, I just won't ask, I won't talk to him at all.
I never said I didn't stop talking to him. I said I communicated in another way.
And what's that?
I would leave what's the situation with what's going on with the problem. I would leave that on paper to tell them, no, here, this is what's going on. I didn't stop communication. I kept working with the situation in another way.
Is that like on this work order that I talked to you about? You scratched out, checked some things, underlined some things.
I was there communicating to somebody. That's showing I did the work and what was left. I didn't.
You didn't do the work though. This I asked you to put on there afterwards.
Right.
I said, Greg, these notes don't make any sense to me. No one knows what's done and what's not done.
I'm
Can you
trying to
please
understand
redo
how does
it?
that relate to what you just asked me about.
Because you
him.
said I'd put stuff down on notes and stuff like
Well,
that.
it wasn't having to do with this piece of paper.
What piece of paper are you writing notes on?
You tell you.
Where are the notes on paper? Are you leaving like sticky notes or?
Memo sheets, whatever. That was way back then.
But that's
What
still
the
not.
situation you're talking about.
That's still not talking to someone.
Okay.
My input on that, Greg, is not necessarily that I didn't want to talk to you. What you really was showing me on those text, pictures, and questions, it was something that I already knew. When you tell me that this paint is leaking, we already know that it was leaking, and you send me pictures. I mean, that part I already knew. What I was expecting from you is, I'm the maintenance, have to think like a maintenance, not like a resident. I need to fix this. I mean, sending me those pictures, sending me those texts about this being broken. I mean, that part we already knew it. that's why I was kinda frustrated on that part, because you were not even trying, wanting to fix it, because it was, I mean, your job, and that's what really frustrates me sometimes, that, and I don't take it against you guys or anything, it's just that, the situation that, because I feel when I start doing this job, I always wanted to try, not just go and look at it, I wanted to try and fix it different ways, and don't work, just go to somebody else, but at least try. And those situations that you're referring, you were not even willing to try, you just take pictures and send the pictures to me or text me, and, I mean, what good was that, I mean, on your side?
Was that the water heater?
It was different situations,
Remember a water heater, it was making the firewall.
that is one of them, yeah.
There was an issue, and what he's saying is, Greg, you get the work order, and the resident reports, there's a fireball every time the water heater starts. And you went there, and from what I know, and I wasn't there, so that you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, the, water heater makes a fireball when it lights up. Okay, we already knew that. It wasn't, hey, so this is what's happening, every time it lights up, there's a fireball, and, I don't know how to fix it, I can't fix it because of whatever reason. Is that something you can take care of, Raphael, or should I have the office call them and, let them know it's gonna be whatever you guys determine it is? That's communication, that's outstanding. Not, I got a work order for, what I just explained, I'm gonna explain it again. We already knew that. Is that what you're saying? There's other ones like that too?
Some of them is that. Yeah, and that particular work order for water heater, the next step, he was gonna take the burner out and clean it out. I mean, that will be the next.
You check with my doctor and see if I can bend down that long. That's up to y'all.
Well, I believe,
You tell me what it says, but like I told you, she told me if I don't feel like I can do that, be down there that long, just tell her, call her. So you can call her and ask her about it.
okay, and we go and see that comes up, because they have down, that's another thing too. I was trying to explain to you, he said, well, it's the same as the back one yesterday, he had mentioned that. It's not the same as the back one, I wasn't
That
being
one,
a jerk
she
about
said,
it.
she
I-
said
I'm
you
still
called her about
talking.
that one too. I explained to her what you said and she said, well, tell her to call me. Cause
You're not
she didn't
gonna
mean it
interrupt
about $20, 20 pounds.
Okay, yes, but she didn't put that on a piece of paper. I wasn't being a jerk, I wasn't being a smart ass about it. That's what she put down on the paper, I was going off what she said. That's respectable, I'm trying to respect what the doctor's saying. That's what she puts down, and you call her and tell her, I don't know what you told her, but what she sent me back is, Greg can tie his shoes. I didn't say you can't tie your shoes, I was trying to tell you, it was saying, you can't bend over. That's what it's saying. And on our end, once again, without communicating to us, I mean, that makes us all uncomfortable. Because we don't know what we can or can't depend on you for. Because you don't communicate that to us. We just have to say, whatever you think you can do, but we try to make sure it's within those guidelines of what they have on that paper. Another example is, there was a toilet that came up, the toilet. It weighs that snake weighs 5 pounds. And you said you couldn't go do that because of your restrictions. You don't have to bend over, you don't have to lift more than 5 pounds. What was the situation with that?
I don't know what you're talking about, with snaking.
There was a toilet that needed to be snaked, and I don't have the apartment number, it happened, I can look up the work order. It was maybe a month ago.
Yeah, it was 5:36.
So that's come up, I know, a couple of times. We don't write all these things down every time it happens. We just shouldn't have to do that. And I don't think you'd appreciate us doing that right now. I wouldn't appreciate anybody writing down every little thing that I do wrong. That's not right to do. So, yeah. So with the raise, what did you read in the handbook that you said you're promised a?
Go ahead.
You're promised a raise every year, says the handbook says that.
I read it wrong.
Okay. Well, this is my issue with giving you a raise, Greg. Refusing to do work orders that are not beyond your restrictions, we just mentioned a couple of those. And and what you're telling me is, you know, my restrictions are just whatever I say they are. And if you have a problem with it, then call my doctor. Which, if that's the case, we need to know that too, because you can still keep your job, but if we don't have anything for you to do within your restrictions, then we gotta send you home. You stay employed, you don't get paid through us, you still get paid. And you know how that all works. But I have a tough time understanding if we're having expectations beyond your restrictions or not.
Only thing I don't understand is my evaluation for a year. These injuries that was before the year was up, but the only time you mentioned the difficulty is the last 3 months or so, maybe 2 months. But you saying I've been a problem for how long?
I'm not saying you've been a problem, I'm saying absences altogether have been a problem. You're not the only one. And I think we deserve a little bit of respect, I'm still talking, a little bit of respect for working with it for so long. We've worked around it for a long time, Greg. And we get no appreciation for that. Raphael's had to pick up the slack. I haven't got work I need to do I'm doing work orders. You may not know, but I'm not supposed to be outside of this office doing work orders or laying mulch or anything like that. But when it has to be done, it has to be done. And I gotta figure out a way to do it. That's going above and beyond. That's where your mark stuff is outstanding. What were you gonna say?
So, do you really think I'm just not working through situations and not complaining, not whining to you? It get to a point where this is getting worse, where I finally have been saying, well, I don't need to do that because it hurts when I do it. But I've never said that before. I just keep doing my job.
I think you're working through pain. I think
But you told me just a minute ago, I'm still talking. I was still talking.
Go ahead.
And I've never complained one time. I've never whined about it or nothing. When I went to visit doctor last time, she brought it up. We talked about that. And I was like, well, I like doing my job. So, yeah, I have been doing some things that hurt. But, well, Greg, you know, if you hurt, you need to tell them and don't keep doing it. When I went to go see the other doctor, he said, yes, it is getting from the thing they got, because I had 2 of them. I am still working through pain. I ain't had no problem with it. But if I'm going to keep on damaging myself, and as you said, you might not get a surgery. So why I'm going to keep on damaging myself worse? And there's not going to be nothing done about it. So, yes, I have been pulling back. And, yeah, I will say now, hey, that's something I don't want to do because it'll hurt. You're not the one that has to lay up all night with pain going out of bed, trying to go to sleep, popping pills, that's not your problem. So, yes, I have been making sure that I'm not making myself in more pain like I was doing for months, just keep on going. No, I'm not going to do that to myself.
Okay, so what's your solution?
My solution is I've been back on, I'm still got a swollen heart. I still do work within perspective that if you feel like you have nothing for me to do or I'm not fit to do the work that I have been doing, then I leave it up to you.
It's not up to me because you've already said that I can't even go off the restrictions that your doctor put down. It's what you say.
I never said that, but you know that's what you take it as, and okay.
Okay, so holding that toilet snake or changing a burner.
If I can stand up straight and do anything, I'm fine with it.
And toilet snake, you would stand up straight. It's not repeated bending like that was on there. Your response to that was, the doctor said to do what I think I can do, and if they have a problem with that, tell them to call me.
Okay, you have to put the snake in there, push it into the hole. So I'm gonna be able to stand up doing that.
Isn't it like this long?
I think you're confusing the toilet snake, you know, when you put in the toilet, not under the sink or anything.
The one we don't hardly ever use, you talking about? The one that's orange?
The one that you only use for toilets.
I don't know which one that is.
We use it a lot. I mean, I just.
Okay,
you
well,
use it.
maybe there's some confusion there, but, you know, yes, I think you're working through pain. Yes, I think you are sincerely injured. Yeah, all those, yeah, I believe, but on my end, what, is that just, like, what do I tell the residents why stuff isn't getting done? What am I supposed to tell them? Well, Greg's hurt today. No, I can't do that. These things still have to get done. And the rest of us have picked up that slack throughout the year. And right now you're giving us no appreciation for that whatsoever. How do you not agree with that?
Because you bring up appreciation on your part. But when you saying that, say, you're not admitting that I appreciate you struggling through this, but you want me to say, oh, thank y'all for picking up the slack. Like it's my fault. I tried to go out and get hurt. Thank you for picking up the slack, because I meant to get hurt. That's what it sounds like to me.
No one's saying you meant to get hurt. I said that you work through pain.
And I should appreciate y'all picking up the slack. I'm like, it's not my fault that y'all have to.
Whose fault is it?
Yeah. Whose is it?
We do have to pick up the slack.
Yep, and you doing it for me. Thank you.
What do you expect when you're?
But why is that a subject of me though? It's because you're
This is
supposed
your
to
review.
do it for the. All right, I get it. I understand.
Are you sure?
Yep,
And those aren't the only things.
I know.
Refusing to do work orders that are, we talked about that. Texting, talking on the phone. Once again, we aren't the only ones who have witnessed that. Someone else did. Never even was mentioned to them. Not completing work orders is that ceiling in there that we were working on when Dana was here. I didn't see that get finished by you. Leaving poor notes on the work orders. Leaving things undone and not telling anyone, that's also has to do with those. The returning the phone calls came up at one time. I had a couple residents say that the emergency phone, when you had it, wasn't responded to promptly. And the other thing too, one of the other things that's happened is yelling at your supervisor and storming off. Those things have all been happening, some of them on more than one occasion. And he emailed me and say, I'm expecting a raise.
This whole thing. I don't need the rest. You can have it. I understand you gave me my evaluation. I understand. And it
No,
goes.
that wasn't your evaluation,
Okay.
and I wasn't gonna give you a raise. I told Raphael that this
I
morning.
appreciate it.
After what he told me yesterday, I decided maybe I should, because he said, thanks to him, he said, I think Greg gets it, I think Greg cares about his job. He came back and he really seems to be doing a good job.